That's Chris Tomlin with Nobody Loves Me Like You. It's DJ here for your brekkie, 23 minutes away from 8 o'clock this morning. And we've got a special edition of Popcorn Propaganda. Usually bring it to you on a Friday. This is where we do a bit of a movie review. But tomorrow's going to be a big show, so we've bumped it into today. So let's get the introductions out of the way. I've asked the sound team here to give me something decent. So back to the drawing board here. Let's see what we've got for the fanfare. Popcorn Propaganda. Oh, it sounded good. This is good. Yes. Now, it's what? Oh, come on. This is... how am I... Okay. Go back to the drawing board with this. All right, we're doing a movie today. We're doing something a little bit controversial, so bear with me with this one. This is a huge film at the moment, a cultural touchstone, as it will, something that is really going to be talked about a lot over the next, I reckon, coming years. This will be one of the biggest films of the decade. And I'm not talking about box office alone. I'm talking about in its reputation and the conversations around it. What movie am I talking about? I'm talking about Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix has just, starred in this film as Arthur Fleck / Joker. It's also got Robert De Niro playing Murray Franklin, the talk show host. We've also got a few other people that you might have seen in it. Zazie Beetz is Sophie Drummond in this one. Mark Maron, comedian, plays the assistant there to Murray Franklin. And but it's a very small cast. It's not a lot of people there. The fantastic Frances Conroy, she's had a lot of television. She plays Penny Flack, Arthur Fleck's mother in this film. So this film's set in the late 70s, early 80s. It's sort of a bit vague of when it's set, say 1981. But the film that the director Todd Phillips, now Todd Phillips is an interesting character. This guy did Old School. He did all the Hangover films. He's a huge comedic director. Not very popular these days because comedies, especially comedies like he made in the 90s and early 2000s, are really out of vogue with the political, correctness brigade. A lot of his jokes are not considered safe or inclusive to a lot of people. And so he's publicly come out and said, listen, I can't make comedies anymore because everybody who's PC and woke will boycott my films. I can't do it anymore. So I'm going to make films that interest me and films that really, I think, comment on art, society, and do something really different. So what they've teamed up and done, Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips there, it's really, one of those classic 70s or 80s film where a star and a director would come together as a team, as a unit, and do a character study together. If you like those, let's say, morally ambiguous films of this late 70s and the early 80s where was there really a good guy in the film? Was there really a bad guy? It was really just a character study of someone and an actor being allowed to really explore the character. That's what this movie is. And it's disguised as a DC Comics Joker film. It really isn't got much to do with the world of, Gotham and the Joker and Batman and all the stuff that people usually associate it with the DC films. So this film, Joker, is out in cinemas right now. It's breaking box office records despite the fact that a lot of people, especially, people on far ends of the spectrum politically, are hating this film. It's getting really, really bad reviews by people who are, the paid professionals and the media are out there, especially in America, really pulling this film apart, even before they've seen it. So it's got a lot to say. There's a lot of cultural baggage weighing on this film. And now I need to say it is rated MA15+ here in Australia. This is not a family film. This is not a typical Marvel, Hollywood, comic book film like Iron Man or something like that. This is something very much darker and, a very different type of film. I'm going to let you know what I thought about it after we have a listen from 10th Avenue North. This is Greater Than All of My Regrets. We're doing Popcorn Propaganda, talking Joker in the cinemas now. What am I going to give it as a review and what did I think? Keep on listening.
when the past it comes to
10th Avenue North, Greater Than All My Regrets. 14 minutes away from 8 o'clock this morning. It's DJ here doing an early edition of Popcorn Propaganda for you. Movie reviews that you can use here. We've been talking about the film Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix here. Let me just play you a tiny clip from the trailer of the film, the final trailer here from Joker that's in cinemas now.
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
Very intense trailer to match an incredibly intense performance there from Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. It's a big film. Now I'm going to give away my hand here. I'm going to show you my hand. I saw the film again. That's right, I said again last night. I've seen it twice in the cinemas because this is a film this is the type of movie that I personally really, really, really enjoy. A character study, an actor and a filmmaker are allowed to do whatever they want on film. And I don't say whatever they want so they do something, grotesque or, indulgent. I mean, really explore the art and the artistic elements of this film, the quality of the filmmaking is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. The acting that Joaquin Phoenix is doing, the performance that he does, the physical transformation that he has done in this character is second to none. It's absolutely incredible. Is it disturbing? Yeah, this is a flawed character. This is someone who suffers from severe mental illness, a severe form of post-traumatic stress disorder from his upbringing. And this is explored in the film. He has different conditions. He's reliant on different drugs and medications to keep him sane and normal in this version of early 1980s Gotham. And it's an interesting film because you've got people on the left side of politics, people who are, very progressive and left, who are boycotting this film and saying that it's an awful portrayal. It portrays, the values that they believe in really bad. It's getting really bad reviews from that crowd. But then people on the far right are not happy with it either because it portrays the rich in a very poor light as well. And so it's one of these unusual films where people on the far left and people on the far right are both agreeing that they don't like this movie, where it seems like everybody in the centre, the vast majority of people, are really, really enjoying this film. If you look at the reviews that collect, multiple reviews together, critics are giving it bad reviews. They're giving it about 60 out of 100. It's getting about a 60 on Rotten Tomatoes. The crowd, however, the everyday person, is giving it a score in the 90s. So, look, it's an unusual film. I have to say, it is not a film for young people. Do not let your young person go and see this film. This is a film, a study in a very disturbed person who has an outbreak of violence, that transforms his life. This is an MA-15 plus film for a reason. Have a look at the trailers, read up about it. If that is something that you think, if you love those darker films from the late 70s and the early 80s that were very, morally ambiguous, as in who was the good guy, who was the bad guy, I can't really tell. This is just a story about telling a story. Then you're going to enjoy I love those type of films. You're going to enjoy those type of films. You're going to enjoy this film as well. So that's my review of. I'm not going to give it a score because I think here at the Breakfast Show and part of 96.3, it wouldn't be fair. I can't give it morally a good score. I can score the filmmaking and the acting and the music and the production, but it's an interesting film. You know what I'm saying. And for those of you who are mature, interested in this type of thing, I think it's well worth having a look into whether you would like this film. There you go. DJ's review of Joker. Is it controversial? Should I even have talked about it on the Breakfast Show? Some people are saying that I shouldn't. Some people are saying, bravo, I'm glad you're talking about it. Let me know what you think. 52416550 or drop me a line on Facebook. I'll put a little review up there. Let me know what you think. Should I be even reviewing films like this in the future? Let me know. It's 9 minutes away from 8 o'clock here at 96.3.
Have an import and export requirement? Pro Global Logistics.